Hi, I'm Sam Stevens with Panther Fluids. My background in the fluids division started back in 2001. So been in the mud business for 22 years now. Was in the field for 5.5 years and learned a lot as a drive-by mud engineer and some camp jobs. So I was pretty well-rounded. Did a little bit of work outside of the Permian Basin, but the scope and majority of my work has been in the Permian Basin. I've learned Delaware, Central Platform, and the Eastern Shelf. They've all been different challenges, but I was able to work in all those basins and come up with good ideas to address operators' issues and concerns. Being in the fluid business for 22 years now, I think the most exciting thing is the technology that comes with not just the fluid side, but the tools and the pace at which they're drilling. Okay, these wells cut down days drilling dramatically since I first started in the field. Now, those days on the well have cut in half or more, and which is critical to AFEs and for operators to drill more wells. And that's what we want. We want to help them drill those wells efficiently. And so not just on the fluid side, but using tools and technology that helps them knock out these wells a lot quicker. Of course, it's going to help all of us service companies. So what brought me over to Panther companies is the need to get back to a more family-oriented company, to where I didn't feel like I was just part of a huge corporation that, you do a good job and maybe they try to reward you with whatever to keep you going, and they just dangle that carrot in front of you. I was looking for a smaller company that I could talk to on a day-to-day basis, know exactly who I was dealing with, and knowing that long term I'm going to be part of their family, basically. And that is how I've felt from day one at Panther Fluids. I've been at Panther for a little over a year and a half. So in the short time frame that I've been here, I've seen some really positive changes in helping not just everybody down here, but in the Permian. We're able to get more involved on the whole level, from not just the sales side, but the technical side. Everybody's more involved now, and everybody provides feedback to our Houston office. The customer gets a lot more data now and a lot more offset information to help them drill wells more efficiently, and to have all the information they could possibly use. Before, it's not that we weren't capturing that information, but I would say that now we're able to get it to the customer in a more timely manner, and everybody's more involved in capturing that data. The reason I've stayed with this industry for so long is, of course, starting out, what I wanted to do is pay the bills, right? But the more relationships I was able to develop and people get to know, realize that there's no better people and hardworking people than in the oil industry. And so, of course, I've been mostly, like I said, in the Permian my career, but that is where it's just a great place to be, raise a family, and provide. So it all comes down to the people, and it all comes down to the relationships that you can carry long term. Of course, some working relationships with customers they're not gonna last as long as others, but the ones that you can establish and develop a trust between you and the customer, and have an understanding that always going to take care of their business, those last forever. And if you can just take care of their business long term, you can certainly have a longer career in the oil industry. As crazy as things are in the world right now, there's a huge misperception that oil and gas, hydrocarbons, and the whole petroleum industry are going to be going away. I think anybody, a rational person, knows that that is not true. We're always going to be relying on hydrocarbons to a major extent. Of course, technology is great. We want to help reduce emissions as much as possible. Panther Fluids is helping that regard as well. But to the young folks out there that are just getting in the industry, I would encourage them to not ever question the viability and the importance of hydrocarbons going forward. And really, if they look at it long term, they're going to have an option in a career if they'll just stick with it. Now, one of the hard parts about being young in the oil industry is it's hard work, and you put in long hours and you're tasked with a lot of responsibilities. But if you look at it long term, the pay comparison to other industries is a lot greater over the long term. And if you just pay your dues, it can always work out for you if you just stick with it. Anyone that wants to get to know me better and possibly talk about mud or anything else that I can help them with in West Texas, I would be glad to. I actually have a new spot in Midland that I'm pretty excited about. I've only been there 3 times, but haven't had a bad meal there yet. The place is called Cowboy Prime. And boy, I tell you what, for a steak or a cocktail, I'll be glad to meet anyone there and visit and just get to know them better.